Best of r/malicious compliance episode 12. Okay, so this may be borderline a malicious compliance, but I'm sure this is a good one, and it's one of my favorite stories to tell about my mother, and don't worry, I play in this as well. So this happened when I was in my late teens, 17 if I recall correctly, and was still living with my mum. During this time she had gone through a divorce with my stepdad. Let's just call him Richard. As the name applies, Richard was a real Richard. He was smug, arrogant, saw himself smarter than everyone else, and when he gets upset he can be a real devious bastard. Now Richard was still living with us as the house he was going to move in was still unlivable, so he would put on the charm trying to get my mother to take him back, but that ship had sailed long time ago, all while he's moving his stuff into his van. Very slowly. One day I am sitting in the dining room eating my lunch when I hear my mum and Richard arguing about something. I only recently learned that they were arguing about how the house he was meant to be moving into that was unlivable was actual very much livable. They were going back and forth as they moved their argument in the dining room. I am just sitting there just eating my sandwich. My mother is angry. Richard is trying to defend himself. Then a light bulb lights up over his head as that devious smile appears on his face. A smile I knew all too well. Richard, fine, but I will move until all my stuff is in my van. My mother is pissed, as she knew as well that he was dragging his heels with that, but then she collects herself. I can see the gears running but didn't know the malicious compliance she was thinking up. My mum with sweet smile, fine, then leaves. Richard, seeming to have gotten victory, leaves too. Next morning I am in the dining room eating breakfast and my mother is standing at the window just watching Richard as he was leaving to go to work, taking my mother's car. Don't know why. To get there, it is an hour drive to get there and he leaves pretty early. I hear the car turn on then drive off. The moment he gone, my mother turns to me. Mum, hey OP, you up for some moving? Instantly I knew what that look was about yesterday as I smiled back to her. We begin to move his stuff into his van. Moving his bed, his bedside tables, all his junk, finding any kind of room to put it in the van. We did not stop, not for a break, not for anything. We were on a mission. Professional movers would have wept by how well we did this. It was like a real life game of Tetris, rearranging pieces for the perfect fit, slipping into impossible positions. We started around 7:30, we finished at 1:30. The van was packed, and I mean packed. There was only enough room for the driver and that's it. We celebrated with a late lunch and just sat, giddy like little schoolgirls just waiting. Sure enough, about 4:40, Richard returns. Mum and I walked to the driveway to greet him. Mum, oh hi Richard, how was your day? Richard still having no clue. Oh, it was good. Dealt with some costumers. Got some projects done. The usual. Mum, that's nice. Well, you can go now. Richard now shocked. What? I can't leave. I told you, I won't leave until all my stuff is in my van. That smug smile returning on his face. It was too good. Me, you did say that. And there you go. I point to his packed van that was sitting only mere feet from him. He turns. He realizes. The look, beyond priceless. He turned to us. His face a combination of emotions. Richard, did you two do this? Mum, us? Oh no, we just found like this. Do you know what happened, OP? I just played dumb, trying to hide my smile, failing epically. Me, I have no idea, but since all your stuff in there, I guess you have no excuse to leave now. Richard just stared, a deer in headlights. His only bargaining chip on staying was gone. Without another word and defeat written on his face, gets in the van, backs out and drives out. We turned back inside glowing from our little achievement, knowing that we had one less Richard to deal with. Thank you. Next. Today, as you guys probably know, is Black Friday. I purchased a Nintendo DSi and I'm pretty happy about it. However, it didn't come with a stylus. No matter, I thought, I can pick one up at Shop One as they're 99p there. I've seen them. Also, I'll use my debit card to pay as I've got no cash on me, and it was fine when I bought a £1.99 CD a few weeks ago. So I go up to the desk, ask for a stylus and they say 99p. I take out my card and the guy behind the counter says in a snooty tone, "We can't accept card payments under £10. You'll have to go somewhere else or buy something to increase your total. I know for a fact he was BSing me because my friend used to work there and he said that employees make more money if they sell old stock such as old games etc. So, I settle on Mortal Kombat X as I know exactly what to do. I buy it and the stylus and go on my bike around the block and go sit on a bench for about 15 minutes. I then return to shop 1 and say to the same snooty guy, who looked confused, I've just been to shop 2 for Black Friday deals and I've just got Mortal Kombat 11 and so I don't need Mortal Kombat X anymore. Could I get a refund? The employee looks at me confused, then gives me a look of "Are you freaking kidding me?" and says, "Okay, I'll need your card I guess." I then had the £11 from Mortal Kombat X put back on my card. Normally, I wouldn't give a crap, but this guy was really snooty and tried to make me spend more money than I had to, so I exposed a loophole in his place of work. Thank you. Next. So this happened 2 years ago in my local bank. I worked at a small business I had some parts in and from time to time I made some deposits. So I had this huge order coming in and I needed to deposit a lot in the account so I can make the transaction. I collected as much cash and checks I could and went to my bank to make a deposit. Bad start from the start. Only one window is open for businesses and 9 others are doing fuck all. Had to wait close to half hour to finally get there. Me. Simple deposit. About 4k cash and about 12k in checks. Her. Annoyed. Cash deposits will be frozen for 10 days. Here's a form to fill for checks deposits. Me. Incredulous. It's cash. Why should it be frozen? What form is this? I never had to fill any form. Her. Getting louder. We have to check out the bill are okay. New policy have to fill everything. I took stupid form. Have to fill. From. To. Amount written. Numerals. Date. Actually rewriting all freaking checks on a single sheet of paper and I had to add all amounts and write down total. Hell no. I won't do that for all 30-ish checks. I went back to the window. Me. Look, this is unreasonable. You'll have to enter all those anyway in your system. You have no real use for this after that anyway. Her. Looking at me like I just killed her cat. It's like that, you have to do it, if not we can take checks deposits. Me. Bright bulb shining. Right. So if I walk 5 meters over there and make a ATM deposit, do I have to fill this form? Her. Dear, caught in the car lights. No, but ATMs are emptied after bank hours. Me. So, in like 20 minutes? Her. Yeah. Me. Great. Now I'll add an additional credit extension to my account for 1 month of 10k. I think it's $2 worth. Here's $2. Her. Okay. What about the cash deposit? Me. I'll deposit it in the ATM. I guess your service is worthless to me now. Her. Let me tell you, I didn't feel one bit of remorse. Her attitude was atrocious and she almost eye-rolled a couple of times. That's freaking unprofessional and I just wanted to punch her stupid face. Telling her that made me feel like $1,000,000. Thank you. Next. A couple people requested I post this comment as a post as well, so you may have read it already. Here is the post that reminded me of it. I used to run commercial sales for a particular location of a major auto parts company. I was good at it and we got very busy. The phone sometimes didn't leave my ear for an entire shift answering calls. It was rare for me to be upfront unless I was pulling items for a customer or looking for one of my drivers, and helping walk-in customers wasn't my job. I didn't have enough time to deal with them anyway. This led to me being the manager who throws people out, because they knew I wanted to get back to my desk in the back to do my work, especially during the afternoon when we got busier. One day I'm on the phone with one of my best customers, and he's placing a huge order. The kind of order that will require my guys to make 2 trips to get him everything and 2 motors that we needed to have an actual truck schedule delivery for. I'm in the middle of this order and I hear my least favorite word screamed from the front in the most Karen voice I have ever heard. Get me someone who knows what they're talking about. Get me your manager. Now, the shift lead was busy helping customers as well. The store was slammed, and the store manager was on his lunch. I was the most senior member there, but I was management in a different department. Technically, not my job. So the kid helping her comes back, says that the shift lead told him to ask me because of how busy they are. I tell him I can't right now and that it's the shift lead's responsibility. where they were. If I tried I could hear the conversation, and I caught bits and pieces, but all I really knew was it involved a battery and she was pissed. As far as I could tell though, she hadn't started swearing or abusing the employees at all. I go back to my core thinking nothing of it, then hear Karen again. You're even stupider than the first kid. Of course, I prepared for what was next. The shift lead comes back and practically begs me. I got the all clear from my client to put him on hold for a minute to go deal with it. Walking out, I'm sure my face didn't hide how pissed I was. It went as follows. Me, what do you need? Karen, a battery for my husband's car. He asked me to pick it up and your employees aren't helping. Me, did he order it for pickup? Karen, no. Me, what kind of car? Karen, Honda. Me, Honda what? What year? What engine? Karen, I don't know. Me, what can you tell me about it? Karen, it's a Honda and it's green. Me, then we can't help you. Gonna need to know more about the car. Call your husband, use the store phone if you need, and find out and we can help you. Karen, just get me the fucking battery. Me, I can't. I don't know what battery you need. Karen, get me the fucking battery. Me, you know what? Fine. I went and got her the most expensive battery we had, which was a $400 truck battery, and told my guy to ring her up, and went and finished my sale. Her husband came in that evening to return it and get the correct battery for about $130, and I'm told he was laughing about it and apologizing for her behavior, but I didn't get to see that myself, unfortunately. Thank you. Next. I was in a lecture theater where it's laid out where the person at the end of the row has to climb or push past people to get out, and usually people will stand up and let you past. But one guy was being a DCK and wouldn't get up whenever I needed to get out. The first time he said this I awkwardly clambered over his legs to get out, so when I came back to sit in my seat I said excuse me please, and the guy said the same thing. So I just said guy you gotta move, and he just shook his head. A little context. It was raining today and so the ground was very muddy, and because of this my shoes were also very muddy. So I simply said okay and I climbed over him, using one of my muddy shoes to step on his legs, and I pushed over him leaving a bunch of dirt all over his trousers where I stepped. Was probably a DCK move, but I don't care, it was a good moment for me. Thank you. Next. I used to work at a theater with 30 screens, and people would occasionally call in asking what showtimes were, and then I'd ask what movie, then they would say oh, all of them. I'd tell them all our showtimes were online, and they'd say oh I don't have internet. Then I'd maliciously comply and just start reading off 130 plus showtimes, and I'd keep reading until they said I'll just check online. Thank you. Next. Long time lurker. First time poster. Right now we are stuck in a massive heat wave in South Africa and I'm dying a slow, painful, hot death. Anyway, on warm days I like to walk around the house in my bra and shorts, because you know, cool and comfortable. Also we have 2 kids in the house, a boy, 9, and girl, 11. My mom hates this. She feels I can absolutely not walk around the house in my bra and shorts when there's kids here. So, I complied. I took off my bra, which is a sports bra, mind you, so it literally covers basically my whole back and no boobies are out anywhere or even my chest. There's not even a cleavage. What I did do though, was put on my bikini top, which basically only covers my nipples and a small portion of my boobs. The back is completely open with just a thin strap around my neck and another thin strap around my middle back area. She gave me an extremely evil eye and told me to change and put a shirt on. So I just said Mom, it's not a bra, it's a bikini and I can walk around with it. Needless to say, I won that argument and my mom stormed off in a huff. And bonus, it's actually cooler with a bikini on. Our son isn't even bothered and just took his shirt off, and our daughter put her bikini top on too, which infuriated my mom even more. All in all, good day. Edit. This is gonna be a question. My mother lives with me and my GF. The kids are mine and my GF's kids.